think we're streaming. Give me a minute. Just have to find. I've got to find where I can monitor my stuff here. Alright, so there's the big question. I think I'm live. I think there's people. Well, I don't know if there's people here yet. But I think I'm live. But live. Why? No matching content. What does that mean? Does it mean that let's look at one moment. Alright, well, it's official. I am live, and I don't know where to find all the stuff that I need. Anyways, so give me a minute. I apologize for wasting time here. It should just be like something right in the beginning. Why do they make it hard to find your stuff? Live, is that it? Might have found it. Channel does not meet our eligibility requirements for live streaming. What does that mean? But it says I'm live. No views. Manage videos. See, I don't know what there. Oh, I see something. All right. I think we've got it. I'm gonna have to figure this out a little better, but I think I figured out everything. So, with I am really. I want to finish this today. So, without spending a lot of time, like looking at the chats and seeing who's online, I'm going to try to really focus on getting this done as quickly as I possibly can. If you are here today, again, this is my, let me start off. My name's Jason. And I am, I'm an artist and a designer, and my goal here is to inspire some people and make some interesting art. So we're actually on the third project here. My other projects are listed in my channel. So I hope that you start with the first project, especially if you're new to drawing, or if you're struggling or you're having a hard time. start with the easy stuff first. This one's a little more advanced. I would say this is more intermediate. I put it beginner, but it's more intermediate, to be honest. I'm about halfway through. I'm a little more than halfway through the project. And I want to move on to painting next week. So that's why I want to finish this today. I might not finish it during this session, but that's okay. I'm going to do my best, and excuse any noise in the background. Hopefully it will end soon. There's someone upstairs doing some work. Apologize for that too. Can't plan for everything. Anyways, so I'm just going to get started and get moving here with my drawing. And I hope you're here. 3 watching. Let's find out if people are watching or not. So, here's my drawing here. Let me zoom into my actual... I didn't want to do that. There we go. Let me zoom into my actual, what I'm working on. Hopefully it's somewhat centered. And of course it's not. We're not even going to worry about that. We're just going to stay right where we are right here and start drawing. So I've got a setup. Let me just do this. You can kind of see it if I shut that off for a quick second. So I've got a setup over here with basically paper that's just folded and twisted around. And I've got a little light pointed on that. I put it in a box to kind of isolate it from some of the surrounding light and the dedicated light source. I know it's hard to see there, but we're going to focus on the drawing itself. So, I've also got my pencils here, if you're new to me being with me. Oh boy, I'm sorry about that. You will be able to see my pencil set as we go. I might put a little more light on this so you can see a little better. There we go. And let's just begin. So this is a kneaded eraser, by the way. Nice eraser. And my pencil set. So let's just get started. Alright, I finished this earlier today, and so I'm going to keep working down here. You can just put off your sound and just watch, because that noise is annoying. Alright, so looking at my design here, let's start with this one. So today, I'm not going to be doing a lot of talking and this is my first time live streaming on YouTube, so I'm really just getting used to where everything is. I will get better at this, I promise. So if you're new to drawing, I don't smudge. I never ever smudge. Smudging, in my opinion, is bad. So I will encourage you never to smudge. You start smudging something like this and you're going to have smudges all over the place. And it's just going to create a mess. Alright, I see. If you need any help, ask me. Great. Thank you very much. I will manage, but it looks like we've got a few people here in the room, so I'm happy about that. Please, if you know people who are artists, who are interested in art, or aspiring artists, please share this with them, because I am trying really hard to grow this channel. I wanted to live stream here this morning, and I wasn't able to because I had like 51, 52 subscribers last night, and during the night some of them unsubscribed or what, I don't who knows what happened. So I didn't have enough subscribers to live stream. So obviously it's better to have a couple of extras. and really the whole point I'm here is to share knowledge and hopefully teach some people some things. And so the more the merrier. If you know anybody, send them the link. Even if they just want to draw, or even if they just want to watch. Maybe they don't want to draw at all. This is a funky fold here. It's kind of like, it's not a clean fold, it's more like a crinkle. Like it gets folded one way and then it kind of gets folded the other way. When I start a project, I will explain things a lot better. And like I said, Monday I'm going to start with painting. So if you are interested in oil painting, or you know someone who's interested in oil painting, I'm going to start from the very beginning. We're going to go over tools, techniques, color, mixing color, applying paint, everything that I can think of. And basically, if you stick with me and you take all these classes and try all the projects, it's kind of the equivalent of taking a college course. You know, this could be Drawing 101 that we're talking here right now. This is a Drawing 101 class. I will, you know, I'm not an accredited institution, of course. You're not getting a degree. I feel that art is something you don't necessarily need a degree on, but it's something that it's really good to have someone to not really mentor you, but to give you some ideas to improve your skills. I was okay at art before I started college. I went to art school and I went to design school for my master's. I was okay, but I wasn't really good, but I wasn't great. You know, it takes time, it takes some learning, where if you've never tried something before, you know, would you have ever done a project like this before you took this class? Probably not. But it's an excellent way to improve your skills. Train your eyes how to see things. Keep forgetting where I'm looking at. This is kind of dark down here. So I'm uploading part one of this actually right now. It literally just uploaded to YouTube, but I haven't published it yet. Because I wanted to get into this classroom and make sure that it was working okay. But I will publish that as soon as I get off of here, and you can see kind of how I got to this point right now. Alright, I've got a little bit of tone. I'm going to switch my pencil here. So I was using a 2B. B means soft. This goes all the way up to 9B, and H is hard. HB is the middle, H9 is the hardest one. So I'm going to go to HB. That's my middle pencil there. If you're new to drawing and you don't have a set of pencils, I know at least one person who's watching right now who can attest to how nice it is to have a set of pencils where you can really get dark and really get light and really focus on the changing values rather than working with your regular number 2 school pencil. You can draw with that, sure. And if that's all you've got, that's all you've got, and that's fine. But it makes a big difference. Alright. I'm going to go a little bit lighter just to try to smooth, what is this, 3H? Just try to smooth this out. It's a little sketchy. I'm trying to move fast, so if I'm going really fast and you're like, how did he do that? You know, just rewatch afterwards. And then once we get past the basic stuff, I will get advanced. I will get very advanced at some point, and we will be painting and drawing super realistic, hyper realistic drawings and paintings. But that will take some time, especially if you are brand new to drawing. I don't want you to rush to that point because it will just cause you frustration. All these projects that I'm doing right now, these basic projects, can be and probably should be done multiple times in multiple ways. So far I've only worked with white objects. But that is not what you should do. And once I come back to drawing, we'll be working with some different objects. I'm going to do some reflective objects, and some glass and things like that. We're going to do some, if you've ever heard of trompe l'oeil, which is a French word that essentially means to fool the eye. And we'll be making some paintings and drawings in the trompe l'oeil style. But again, you can't do that stuff if you are new and you haven't been trained yet. You can try. You're probably going to be frustrated. And that is not my goal. My goal is to make you the best artist you can be, which means we can't rush it. I've got my heated vest on right now. It's getting chilly outside. I'm from the New England area, United States. I see a mark there. I don't know how that got there. And during the daytime, I work from home, so this is my lunch break actually right now. During the daytime, I like to keep the heat down, save a little money, you know. And what is this, 3H? I'm gonna move up to a 6H So I like to save money when I can, so I keep the heat down when I can, but I've got this. This is a awesome jacket. When I have to be outdoors, when it's cold out, I'll put this on. Warms me right up. Alright, this is a weird spot. So normally what I'll say, this between this piece of paper here and this piece of paper coming down underneath it here. Normally what I say is that you almost, and this is one of those situations, you almost never see a situation where where one object blends into another object. And I think I just came across one, so I'm actually going to cheat a little bit and add a little bit of depth here, because otherwise they just kind of blend together and I don't want that. That needs to be darker. Now that I'm looking at it, this right here. The nice part about drawings is I can sit here and I can turn it around while I'm drawing, go from different directions and things like that. You can't do that with a painting. Alright, let me get under there. This is HB I'm working with. I'm going to go a little darker, I think. And we're going to go under here. And this, get that angle right. So a lot of this class, at least the live sessions, is just me talking and drawing, and if you're following along, great. You know, sometimes I'll give you a resource, I'll give you a picture of something that I took a picture of, and I'll say, this is what we're going to draw today. But right now, you set up your own sets, your own models. We'll get to that point. There's a crease right here. It's kind of dark. Oh, see? When I forget to, it makes me mad when I forget to do something. I was sitting there, you were watching my pencil set. My bad. It's nice to have I've got 3 cameras, and I really like it, because having just one view, it's pretty boring for the person watching, right? Every once in a while, it's nice just to change the angle of what you're looking at. All right, that looks all right. We'll move down to this guy down here. So again, we'll get a little darker, and then we'll go back to that camera, and we're going to work under here. I neglected to sharpen my pencils before I did this session, so it's a little bit dull. You should be working with a sharp pencil. Almost always, you know. You can get away with it a little bit, but I would get in trouble for a dull pencil in college. I'm going to go even darker than that, I think. 4B. I want to thank everyone who helped me out over the last couple days to get me subscribers. So I know there's a couple subscribers I'm watching right now, which is great. I appreciate that. And I want to give a shout out to everybody who lended me a hand. I was kind of, please help me out. Not that I needed to, but you know, when you're ready to do something, you just want to get going. So thank you. That needs to be a little darker too. I'm going to go to 6B. You never want to push hard into the paper. You know, you're working with a pencil and you're tempted to push a little harder so you can get the value that you're trying to get. You're just going to ruin your paper. So don't push. Change pencils. Don't be lazy. And then down here is actually darker. Let me see what I can get with this. Yep, I got it darker. 9B, all the way up. Very light 9B though. Alright, let's see. I'm going to go to the light side now. 3H. Get some value in here without going too dark. We'll go to an HB. Always switching pencils. Use your eyes. Constantly look at your subject. Back and forth, back and forth. If you don't do that, your brain is a funny organ. It will make stuff up. It'll be like, and then you'll look back and you'll be like, well, that wasn't there. Why did I draw that? Well, your brain is messing with you. Sorry. Don't trust your brain, trust your eyes. And then I'm going to go back to a I looked away and I was making stuff up just now. I was like, yeah, I know it needs to be dark, but I didn't know where it needed to be dark. And, alright, let's move down to this guy right here. So, this is a loop. I'm going to do, this is 2B. 2B. This is a loop that goes around a circle here, so on the inside is dark, but not as dark as the background. You know what? I'm going to go to a 9B, get that background darker before I do the inside. All the way down here is darker too. Contrast will help your three-dimensional objects pop. It will help them look more three-dimensional. So the more contrast between one object and, say, the background, or one object and another object, the more contrast you have between those things, the more they will stand out and look more three-dimensional. So if you're looking at it and it's like you're not feeling that pop, see what you can darken up a little bit. There's an artist, I think his name's Kandinsky, I think that's what his name is. But he always had this saying, his big motto was I'm drawing with light. The artist who draws with light, or painting with light, something corny like that. And I'm like, you're not painting with light, you're painting with paint. He was a big, he sold a lot of paintings, he made a lot of money. And it's I think it's a lot of people's opinion that he probably had factory workers pushing out paintings for him. A bunch of people who were good and who could copy his style, and as long as he put his name on the final piece, they were considered his original artwork. When really he was just a salesman. He could paint, he was alright, but they were cheap paintings. They were kind of like some other TV artists who made a good showing for themselves and all that, and they were good for for people who had a hobby in art, but they didn't teach you how to draw. Excuse me, clearing my throat a lot. I will teach you how to draw. I will show you what I know how to do, so that you can do it yourself. I'm gonna go to back to 3H just to get a tone here. It's not completely white, but it's not dark at all. All right, now we got to do the outside. So I'm going to go to 2B. I'll start with the darkest spot right here. So light kind of always does is, see how the inside is dark here? As soon as that dark goes away, the dark on the other side comes in. So you can, light is very predictable. A little darker. 3B. I think I wanted to go darker than that too. Get in some value first. I've got a sneaky shadow. Where's that coming from? I've got a shadow that I think is coming from this light. Let me turn that off. Yep. I've got a shadow coming from my other light here. And I'm like, I don't want that there. Where's that coming from? Because there was a shadow hitting this object and casting it onto here. And I'm like, but that wasn't there before. So we'll just get rid of that. I've got enough light in this room. I don't need to worry about it. Alright. Oh, my pencils. That's a 3B. I'm going to go to a... well, it's dark here now, though. I'm going to go to a 6H. Let's make sure that's dark. That's bright enough in here. Yeah, I guess it's bright enough. 6H. Down here. Get a value on there. Build it up slowly. There's no reason to rush. Unless you're getting paid lots of money to deliver something tomorrow, there's no need to rush. I'm going to add a little tone down here too. Really the brightest area is like right in the middle there. I'm going to go a little darker actually there. This is a 3H. Darker over here. That background's got to get dark. I'm starting to lose it down here. That's no problem though. Alright, we can go down to a 9B and get the background here. Remember that I said contrast? That contrast down here is going to make that pop out a little bit more. Something you'll realize, hopefully, as you're getting better and better is that while what we make with pencils is lines, right? The outcome shouldn't look like it has any lines. Now, this is kind of sketchy. You're going to see, you know, some sketchy lines here and there. But what I mean is I'm not drawing the outline of these things. I draw the outlines to kind of understand my layout, where everything is, give me a guide. But other than that, the lines disappear once I finish drawing, because I'm either drawing dark to one side of the line or I'm drawing dark to the other side of the line, and then the line disappears. Let's see, I'm gonna get a little dark in here. It's funny. My setup has been sitting here for a couple of days, and it's just paper, right? And it's just taped in with regular tape. Nothing special. What did you just finish? Hey, this was a pain. Are you saying you finished your drawing? If you did, you gotta share. Because you know I want to see. This was a pain. Has been with me since maybe the first day. I don't know when you started following me, but you've been hanging out with me almost every day. Twice. Twice most days. So you've been an awesome supporter. Alright, that looks good. What time is it? I got like 20 minutes. So, we're 2/3 of the way done. Let's go back up to the top. I'm going to start working on this one here, I think. Alright, so I'll go back down to a 3B, because this piece right here is all in shadow. And yeah, it's darker than everything else around it, so this is I feel like I've been sitting too much today. I'm going to have to go for a walk after this. I'm having fun though. I've been having a lot of fun over the past 2 weeks. This is my end of my second week with creating YouTube content, posting it. I was on Twitch, but if YouTube keeps up, I'll stay on YouTube. I think the audience is more appropriate on YouTube. Twitch is cool. I like everybody on Twitch, but they're all gamers. Nobody wants to watch me draw, and that's fine. That's not what they're there for on Twitch. There's a couple other artists on Twitch. I've watched them too, but the whole Twitch culture is not what I'm doing here, so So it says I've got 3 people watching me. That was always one thing I was curious about on Twitch. Who was real, who was a bot? I had my loyal fan here, who was always kept me some company, chatted with me a little bit. So if you're a real person, I'd love to hear from you. It's always nice to know that there's an actual person behind that screen. All right, the shadow here is much darker in the background here. That'll make it pop a little bit more. Contrast. It's not always a lot of contrast, but every little bit helps. So you notice I didn't go all the way to the top of the page here. I'm going to crop this off once it's done. I drew it a little bit small probably. That's okay. It's my drawing. I do what I want. Let's see. Excuse me. Got a couple thumbs up, that's great. Thank you. That's fine for now. I'll keep this pencil and I'll go up to here. So this is a shadow that starts off hard here and then gets softer as it goes out. A little lighter. 3B. B. All right, before I keep going there, let me look at this piece. I'm trying to avoid having to put my hand over stuff that's kind of finished. That's why I'm keeping my hand over on this side. So we're good down to about there, and then it gets light here. I need some value on this side here. This is a 9H here. This is my lightest, hardest pencil. A little bit darker, 6H. Okay, you have a great day. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it, as always. And I will post this hopefully before the end of the weekend. So, new stuff next week. I know you won't be around, so I'll see you when you get back. Bye. minutes left. Yeah, definitely gonna have to work on this over the weekend. All right, let me get down here. Let's see. 6H. See, really, there should be something here. There's something there that I'm not seeing, and I think I didn't draw this high enough, but I'm gonna have to make it up. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. All right, we'll put a nice dark. Make that pop a little bit. And get it a little darker here. All right, that looks okay, I think. Maybe just a little tone here. This is a 6H again. All right. That's fine like that. Okay, that's good there, that's good there. Now I can start working, I think, on this piece here. We're gonna go pretty dark with a 6B. And yeah, so here's an interesting issue. It's not really an issue, it's just something to be aware of and to make sure you're doing the right thing. So just like up here on this circle here, you can see that this paper here, there's an edge to it, right? Paper has a thickness. So I can see that edge down here along, actually all the way from here down to here, and then it kind of disappears until like down here. So I got to make sure that wherever I can see that edge, that I draw the edge, right? Let's see, this is 6B. Let me get my 9B out real quick because I see that this edge needs to be a little darker. So what I'll do before I actually go in with my 6B, I'm gonna give myself a little guide, and hopefully my head won't get too much in the way here. I want to make sure you can see it, so I'll make sure I can see it too. Let's be honest, this is mostly for me so I can get my eyes closer to the paper. I'm just drawing very lightly, but I'm just defining the thickness of that paper so that I don't completely destroy it when I go to add shadow to that. There's a little bit of something I need to erase. Get this. Erase that all the way up actually, because there's some smudging that is inevitable with a drawing. I want to make sure the edge is nice and bright. All right. Now that I've got that kind of blocked in, I can put that down. And 9B. This needs to be darker down here. All right, how are we doing? I think, let's see, it's after 1 o'clock, so I've got to get back to work, unfortunately. I've got just a little bit more to do right around this edge, and maybe a little bit of cleanup that's a little bit sloppy right there, but it's not bad. So, this is where we are, and I hope that there were some people actually watching. I know I had my buddy on here earlier, but hopefully if you were on here watching, you learned something. Like I said, well, let me put this away and I'll address the camera directly. How about that? Put that up there. Switch cameras. All right, so where we are so far. Can you actually see that? I hope so. Thank you for joining me. Again, I'm really enjoying doing this with you. Please join me again next week. I gotta stop saying there it is. Next week I'll be moving on to painting. So I'm gonna finish this over the weekend, over the next couple days, and I will post the completed object, the completed piece on YouTube, so you can see the entire process from start to finish. I'm going to do the first half, is going to be posted in just a minute, so you'll be able to see that. But next week we're going to move on to oil paints. So if you know any oil painters, or you are an oil painter, or you want to get into oil painting, please join me next week, New York time, 7:30 and 12 p.m. So I will be online introducing you to oil painting on Monday. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you have work that you've done that you want to share, please share it with me. I'm happy to see what you're doing and where your journey is. Have a great weekend. Happy Halloween. And I hope to see you again next week. Bye.